Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka too. You know I had to drop a track for my boy. Yeah, Benny a rap the boys out here telling fake. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting no fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit is fake. All the people simple like Muhammad Ali. Shut up, Bruce Gas. One day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. We gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. Take a hit out the Toka two. Slipping hella shots. Feel like Tyson with the pick. Little Glock on my side, but it hit just like the crew. Shut up, man. Chat real shit. That's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the pan. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sin. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Hey, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
Salute. Bruce Gas here, boxing, jazz, and more. And I'm doing this show tonight as a kind of a favor to my friend Miles Bailey, who's involved in this unprecedented fight that we got coming up, man. We've got Ike Iabuchi coming out of I don't know, 20 some odd year hiatus. 26 years ago was his last fight, and he's taking on one of the fighters who stopped Mike Tyson, Danny Williams, and that was a long time ago. Both of these guys are old fighters, retired, I guess. And we're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're gonna get the principles up here. Right now, I'm gonna bring on my brother Miles Bailey, who I met a couple of years ago, and we seem to have hit it off nicely. And Miles, you there? Miles is somewhere here, but he's in the building. We'll get him up here. Brother Miles. I think he's making some phone calls to try to get one of the that we got two of the principals on this fight. You know, one his name is Chad Rucker, and the other one is Jim Catfish Hunter. And these guys are putting this fight on. This fight is coming on.
All right, they asking me something, so I got to get in here, Jim. So
in a couple of weeks, and I think Miles is calling them up now, trying to get their connections straight. Hey, slide encounter, brother. Salute, man. Thanks for stopping in. But
Bruce.
Yes, brother. You good?
Yeah. What's your number there, Bruce? So I can give it to Jim.
He wants to call in.
Yeah. What's the calling number?
I don't even know. I gotta look at it over here.
It's 401.
Yeah, it's 401.
Yeah.
424.
424.
1483.
1483. 401 424 1483.
Yep.
401 424 1483.
Yep. And let me get. I'd rather he got in here with the link, but
all right. Well, I'm in. Hey, I'm in now. I'm in. So I'm here.
You're in, my brother. You're in. Yeah. And slide encounter, a low clarity, bro. We'll tell you how you can watch it. We'll tell you where you can order it from. It's closed circuit. It's a pay-per-view, and I don't know. Why is this fight happening? Miles has got to tell us a little bit about this fight, man, because this is a fight that has taken a lot of people by shock. They don't, they're saying, what's going on? This fight should have been made 20 years ago. I mean, it's been, as we know, Ike Iabuchi has been a resident of the state of Nevada for about 16 years. He pulled some crazy stunt, and the last time we saw him, he destroyed the former heavyweight champion, Chris Bird. The man is 52 years old now, and he's fighting again. And this fight's happening on what is it, Miles? August 23rd. August 23rd.
in
And
Africa. And he also beat David Tua, so let's don't forget about that. But before we get started, let me tell all my fans out there, because I got a whole bunch of stuff has happened since then. I hooked up with RX Sports. We're the four kings: Tony Kennedy, Eric Mason, Dennis Schultz. It's the four of us. Then we signed up Michael Hunter to the RX Sports, who's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. He's fighting Pulav. And unfortunately, today, Don King, I heard, went to the hospital, and we're going to get some more feedback on that, gang. But I want to just give a quick rundown before we get started of all the people I'm dealing with, so people don't say I didn't give them the shout-outs. Like my fighters I'm working with: Siobhan Stillwell, Israel Mercado, Ron Gabble, and of course, Demetrius Long, which is, we call him Wavy. He's going to be a special talent. Then I got my partner, Nirmal Lorik, 45 years from Starrett City. He had Louis Collazo, Travis Sims, Shannon Briggs, Saddam Ali, also David Seas with the Cops and Kids. We fought together 45 years ago. We made the front page of the Daily News. He was a cop. He stayed in. I stayed off. I messed up. I went to the streets. That's another story in itself. Then I got Rabbi Schwartz. We work with, of course, Michael Hunter is doing the Pulav thing that's coming along. And I'm working with a lot of people. Like, again, Leon Muhammad told me today the bad news about Don. But I have this new guy I'm working with, Terry Canty, out of Detroit. He has 4 kids. The next up and coming Tommy Hearns. And then we got Al Lowe, who had Leon Spinks as a manager and worked with Michael Spinks and Butch Lewis. I talked to him the other day. So there's a lot going on, gangs. I just want to get everybody in the mix, and I hope I didn't miss it. Of course, I got to talk about my daughter with Eddie Hearns and Matchroom, and of also Turkey Al-Sheikh, because today is his birthday. So shout out to His Excellency. So you don't think we forgot him, because he's the one that's splashing around all that big cash, people. Turkey Al-Sheikh. He has trillions of dollars. So we're going to move this along. So go ahead, Bruce. What else you want to talk about with the Danny Williams and Ikabuchi thing?
This is your show, Miles.
I know.
You gotta tell these cats why they should buy this show, buy this fight. What's going to happen to the winner? What's going to happen to the loser? I mean, this is new territory. I got a lot of diehard boxing fans in here, and this is like news to them. They're saying, "What the hell?" Ikabuchi.
Well, what happened? I was working with Ike, but then I had another attorney, Chad Rucker. He came in and he put a little finance together, because you always need some cream, as they call it, some cheese, cheddar, cash, and if you don't have it, you can't move along. So that's what Chad came and did. He signed Ike up as the advisor. He's an attorney, and he's doing it for the shits and giggles, but he's moving us along, and that fight is happening August 23rd. So I'm trying to get Chad in here. If we don't get him in here today, we'll get him in here later or tomorrow and get a bigger update. So I got my man Jim Catfish Hunter. He's coming out the bullpen any second to tell us a little about his history and how he worked with Don, and he's working with us on this too. He worked with a lot of people, with Mike, the whole nine. Don has worked Caesar's Palace, MGM Grand. He can go on and on, but I'll let Jim Hunter tell you the X's and O's. But that's my guy. He's Mr. Vegas. He should be calling any second and giving it. We're trying to get him in the studio, but he was like me. It's hard once you get in, but he's got double what I can do. I'm the aficionado, but he's somewhat of a mentor, but he's good. He's been doing it for a long time with Cedric, with Bruce. Cedric Kushner, Golden Boy, Bob Arum, and he worked with King. So he did it all. So he knows what he's doing, and he's a big help in the game. He's still around. A lot of people don't know who he is, but all the old timers know about Jim Catfish Hunter.
Well, see, a lot of people around here, they hear Jim Catfish Hunter, they think of the pitcher.
Yeah, well, what you call him gave him that name, Don King. He calls him Top Cat, because he was his go-to guy with all the stuff. How my daughter does with Matchroom, that's how Jim Hunter did with Don King. And he moved around before COVID and did all the running around, putting the fighters in place, doing everything. Also with Vegas, when Kokorian was there, Steve Wynn, Sheldon Adelson, Jim was the go-to guy, because Jim was Mr. Vegas.
And Jim is a matchmaker, a promoter.
He does it all. What he used to do is do the food, room, and beverage, get the fighters in line, because there's a lot of behind the scenes, like what my daughter does with Matchroom Boxing now. She does the travel. She used to be a.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
We got Jim.
I think so. Hello.
Hello.
Here we go.
Jim, welcome.
Yes.
Hey, man. Pleasure to meet you, brother. My name is Bruce Gass, and Miles has been speaking pretty highly of
I know
you.
who you are. I'm well aware of who you are.
Well,
So,
you got one over on me, bro. Can you let these people out here know a little bit about yourself?
yeah, thank you for having me on tonight. Oh, I've been involved in boxing from a promotional, co-promotional, organizational, marketing, publicity standpoint for 40 years, based here in Las Vegas. And now we're just, getting ready to see what's coming up with a few fights that your other guest, I think Miles is involved with. So see if we can get some of these across the line over the top, and any other cliche you can come up with.
Are you involved with this fight at all?
Which fight?
The Ike Ibuchi?
I am answering a few questions when I'm asked, because I've done a lot of fights, and so maybe my experience might be able to help people avoid the pitfalls of the promotional end of this sport. So, in that regard, yes, but it's being held in Nigeria, and no, I'm not going to be over there in Nigeria. So there's only so much you can do when you're not hands-on at the site the day of the fight or the week of the fight.
Oh, some people don't know how to take it. They don't know if it's going to be a competitive fight, or if it's just going to be an exhibition, a couple of old men dancing around each other for 10 rounds. I'm kind of at a loss.
Yeah, I would think the thing is Ike is in shape, of course, but the same thing that happened with Tyson when he fought Jake Paul is you can be strong as an ox, but your stamina is just not what it was. So this is what it's going to be a 10-round, 8-round fight. Yeah, I think you're going to see both fighters come out with a brisk pace because they're both going to be a little gassed at the midway point.
Okay. Now you Miles said you've been involved with Don King for forever. Is that right, Jim? Can you get into some Don King stories?
I worked with Don during the Tyson days, Chavez days. Worked with Cedric Kushner when he had Shane Mosley, Asim Rockman. So I've worked with a lot of promoters, a lot of hotel casinos, et cetera. And so yeah, no, I worked with Don for a lot of years.
Were you a fan before you were an employee, so to speak?
A fan of Don?
A fan of boxing.
Fan of boxing. Yeah, I didn't know I enjoyed the sport. I didn't know a whole bunch about it until I came to Vegas, worked for the newspaper, and they said, "You're going to write boxing." I go, "Okay." So I learned real quick. When I left the papers after a few years, because I was getting repetitious, I wrote for covered boxing for AP and Reuters, some for Sports Illustrated. And I could write a bit in those days, a little rusty now. And I became I would say a fan. I had an appreciation, a great appreciation for what the sport is, and especially what the competitors have to go through. Doesn't matter if they're good or you're bad. If you step through the ropes, you've got chops. and your talent level may not be as good as the next guy, but you still have to prepare and you still take that punishment.
Okay.
Yeah, I hats off to anybody who has got the chops to step through the ropes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me shout out to some of the cats that coming in our live over here, man. 86 boxing, slide encounter, Cool K, man. I appreciate you people in here. Susanna from the Philippines. Thank you, man. Low clarity. Thank you guys for coming in here, man. I got Miles Bailey in here, and on the phone, man. You know, I've got Jim Catfish Hunter, and that's not the baseball player. This is a boxing. He's an insider, a writer, and you know, I'm pleased to meet him for the first time. Miles asked me to get this, to do this live tonight, to speak about this Ike Iyabuchi fight that's coming up. And I mean, we're just having a good old time talking some boxing over here. And Jim, what's your greatest memories of this sport, brother?
I'm sorry.
What are some of your greatest memories of this sport? As long as we're in here just shooting the shit right now. I don't know what we're supposed to be talking about, man. But hey, you sound like a real interesting cat, my brother.
Greatest memories. Oh, I was real young, but I saw the Foreman Lyle fight from about 2 feet away.
Oh,
that's when you could sit on the apron, and that was interesting. And George was going to quit between rounds before he killed Clancy. Said one more round, and he knocked out Lyle. Go figure.
Man,
Greatest experience? No. Probably spending a couple of weeks with Muhammad Ali when he was training for a fight out here, and he would train in the public. Then he'd go up to his hotel suite, and I was fortunate enough to be able to come along. But, you know, you'd spend 6 hours or so with him each day, and did that for 2 weeks. You learned a few things about the man. Not that I know everything. I mean, I know anything about him, but you learn something there, you know, when you hang with somebody other than what you read and what you hear. So he was. I'm not telling anybody any secrets. He was an amazing man, very confident. So,
man, I'll tell you, just telling me you were 2 feet away in that historic battle with Foreman and Lyle. Those punches, they must have sounded like hand grenades going off. I mean, damn, that must have been I couldn't think of a better place to be ever.
Right. I tell you, the one punch that I saw that was tougher than them was the left hook by Ernie Shavers that floored Larry Holmes in their second fight. I didn't think Larry was getting up, but he managed. So,
yeah.
He kept the referee was cleaning off the gloves, and he kept moving away and away and away from the corner that Shavers was in, so he was diagonally all the way away. The referee's trying to tell him stand still, like clean off your gloves. Hey, Larry was Larry, and the referee was Davey Pearl, who was about 5'6" and 150 pounds, dripping wet. So, hey, Larry could move him around a bit.
Yeah,
he gave him extra time to recover, which as it turned out was what he needed. So,
the Davey Pearl, as small as he was, he didn't take no shit from those heavyweights. He'd get right between them, push him back. He was tough little bird in his own right. Man,
no nonsense guy in the ring and in business. He didn't take any lip from any fighters.
Yeah, no. So I mean, you went through the golden era. That's my era. That's the era that I was, every Saturday afternoon, every at the birth of HBO, all these pay-per-view fights, late 80s, late 70s, 80s. That was the time to be a fan of boxing.
ABC fights with Coward Cosell.
Oh, And you know, there's a birthday coming up in a couple of days. Matthew Saad Muhammad. Did you ever get a chance to see Saad Muhammad?
Yes. Is that coming up? I did not know that. So there you are. Huh.
He was a warrior in every sense of the word, huh?
Oh yeah, the light heavyweights back in those days. There were some. We'll talk about the middleweights from Philly. You know, the Cyclone Hards and the Benny Briscoes, but the light heavyweight crop in the late 70s, early 80s was, you know, second to none.
The best.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, even
some great fighters. They got some great ones now. I mean, you know, I would say the group they have now would probably come close to equaling what they had back then. And there's some real talent, both boxing, stamina, punching. Back then you had people who were just brutalizing folks, you know, like Galindas and what have you. But right now you've got some real craftsmen at 175. So, yeah.
You think
they are the crop today to be admired.
Do you think the quality of boxing has changed much in the 30 years or so that we're speaking?
I'm sorry once again.
Do you think? No, I understand. That's why I wish you could have got in here on the StreamYard, because these Google phone lines.
I'll blame my phone.
Well, it's working out fine, but
which is probably a good thing you can't see me.
Right.
But I wish you could have had me, because I could hear you. Anyway, the question is.
I can't even remember what the question was.
In the last 30 years, has it changed?
There's Miles. Miles is still here. And
Miles is here. Let's let that Miles say something. Say something, Miles.
No, you're doing so good. You bring it back to historian, keeping these guys happy, because this is great. You're bringing back yesteryear, so maybe we can get some rejuvenated fans to come back, because Jim can go on and tell stuff that almost from the 50s to 40s like it was yesterday. I'm intrigued myself.
40s and 50s, back I wasn't even born.
No, but just your history, how you're breaking it down. And I know everybody has to be loving it, because I am.
Well, there you go.
I got another friend of mine, Jim. You must have seen him fight before. He was a client of Don King. He's my brother. He's been on my show a dozen times. Terrible Tim Witherspoon from out in Philadelphia.
Timmy, yeah. He gave Larry Holmes fits when they fought. Where was it? At the Dunes, and I watched Timmy spar and train down at Johnny Taco's before the fight, and he looked good. And you know, Larry squeaked out a decision, and I thought he had won the fight, but only by a round. And Larry asked me after the fight, Jim, you know, we knew each other. We got along because when I was writing, I said he would beat Ernie Staples the first time they fought, which qualified him to fight Kenny Norton. So he remembered that, and we got along. He said, Jim, what do you think? I said, I thought you won. Why, you got your doubts, Larry? He said, yeah, it was closer than I wanted it to be. And I said, yeah, well, things like that happen. But Timmy was a good, solid fighter. He just couldn't, you know, but how many people can get over that hump and have prolonged greatness? You know, Larry did, Klitschko did, Leonard Lewis did. But how many of those are there? I'm not counting, of course, the Joe Lewises and the Muhammad Alis and Marcianos, etc.
Yep.
But he was a good fighter. Just
on the outside of greatness. So close. And I mean, it was just tough times. He had the thing going on with Don King, and he didn't have the proper management for his money. And I mean, it was if he was around today and he had the proper legal representation, Tim would be set for life. But the way things are with most fighters, it's tough, man. These guys are living month to month, Social Security checks and Section 8. It really hurts me to see this with some of these fighters. With all of these
that's
fighters.
what you're dealing with. There's no league, there's no team structure. You're dealing with independent contractors, so it makes it tough on some occasions.
Lately, there's been talk of the reenacting the Muhammad Ali Act and amending it to bring a union into boxing. You think that'll happen in our lifetime?
I'm not well enough versed on what Dana White and TKO is, the ramifications of what they're proposing. So I'm not going to open my mouth and put my foot into it any more than I have to. It sounds good in theory, in application. Who knows? I've read people on both sides. Some are ambivalent, some are neutral, some are adamantly against it, adamantly for it. So I'm just reserving judgment on that right now. Thank you.
Yeah, no, boxing's always been a solo game. Everybody looked out for themselves, and it's going to be tough to bring change like that. It's going to be tough to organize the top tier with the bottom tier, and I'd love to see it done, but I just don't see it happening. Especially not in the social not climate that we're in today. But hey,
yeah, having a union like not necessarily a league under a promoter, but having a union like the NFLPA or what have you, it's going to be tough. You got independent contractors, and like you so aptly pointed out, you've got the have-nots. It's good for them. What's it saving them? What's it getting them? Not a whole bunch. They don't have a whole bunch to contribute. And then all of a sudden you become a world champion. You're raking in 6- and 7-figure purses. You don't much care about a union at that point.
Yeah. Now there was a woman a few years ago, Josephine Abercrombie. Do you remember her?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Any memories? Yeah, the HBA, I believe it was, and she had the concept of organizing health care for the fighters, getting a retirement fund going. But that it seemed like when she got out of boxing, the whole idea did.
It's wonderful if you can take care of the practitioners, like I say, with health and retirement, without one central organization, be that like the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, the NFL, WNBA, etc. It's tough to get, thousands of independent contractors. And if you were to have, say, I'm just using it, the Teamsters, they could be school teachers, whatever union group whose umbrella they're under. Okay, so you're a member, and that's great. And the promoter is trying to get a fight, and the fight would be against a non-union fighter. Is that a problem? And if you've got say it's at a hotel casino or just a hotel, the fight card is, and it's a union hotel, as many are, most are, and you have fighters who aren't union, is that going to cause a problem? A lot of stuff that goes into putting this together.
Yeah, they definitely are. And even though it's called a union, once you get in the union, you can pretty much insulate yourself and just pay your dues every month. And you will reap the benefits at the end of your career. And that's the thing. They need some kind of an organization, even though, like you say, they like fight in halls where they're anti-union and they're right to work states. It's all fucked up. But the bottom line is they have to take care of the fighters. They have to look out for these guys, because once they turn 65, I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it with the guys I used to grow up with, the guys I used to watch. I bump into them at conventions and autograph conventions, and man, it breaks my heart. I wish I could just set up a big home for these retired boxers. And some kind of organization, like maybe like a union for sure, just to get some kind of a pension started, just so they can have something at the end. Even $500 a month, that would make such a big deal to some of these guys. You know.
You know, you make a good point. Yeah, it doesn't have to be thousands upon thousands to everybody each month. Just a little something to help them over the hump. You know. So.
Well, I want to chime in on something that you said, Bruce, because I'm working with Paul Johnson, and he's trying to bring back the union. And Mr. Johnson's out of Minnesota. We've been talking about it. He's trying to put some people together to have championship boxing and have it organized, and he's been working behind the scenes. So Mr. Johnson and he has drafted a letter, which I will send to you, so you will see, and we're going to work at it. It might be a long shot, but they say at least if you're in the game, there's a chance it can happen. So all the boxers out there, we're still working. We're not giving up. We're not going to stop fighting until the fighting is done.
At a boy, Miles, that's what we need, man. We need guys like you that know a lot of people and have a lot of energy. You know, keep this movement going. Let me ask you another question, Jim. What do you think of boxing today with Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White? I mean, it's a whole different ballgame than it was even 10 years ago. You know, we got I don't know. Do you think it's for the better, for the worse, for whatever?
I'd say it's more good than not. You're getting fighters who are getting paid, outrageous amounts compared to what they were. And if somebody wants to pay it, that's great. It's like in pro sports, the salary cap keeps going up in the NBA, and they say for the decades early, you'll be getting somebody's going to be making close to $100 million a year. That's fine, you know. Owners wouldn't do it if they couldn't afford it. So there's nothing wrong with that. Same with the fighters making all this money. That's good. Someone is saying, well, gee, it's tough to have all these fights over in Saudi Arabia because it's strange times to watch it here in the States. That can be, but they're now holding, Turkey is now holding fights in England. He had some in LA, he's having in New York. He is sponsoring these fights, promoting these fights, not just in Saudi Arabia, but around the world so people can see them as well. He's talking now about, making it so they're more affordable. Not everything's going to be a $80 pay-per-view. It's not going to be a pay-per-view on top of a subscription, depending on who is going to be doing the distribution and the streaming. So, by and large, if you get a billionaire to come aboard, he's helping to subsidize the sport. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good for the viewers. It's good for the fans.
Nothing wrong at all. And I can't believe the hate that I'm hearing towards this guy. He's like a little kid. He's throwing against the wall, and whatever sticks is good. And even what doesn't stick is good for us, the fans. We're seeing these amazing cards put together in these random arenas like Times Square. He wants to put one on Alcatraz. I mean, this is fun. This is exciting. I don't go anywhere but my couch, and this is great stuff.
Hey, he'll try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else.
Yeah, and it's not going to break the bank because he's got this unlimited piggy bank to dip into, and I think it's just beneficial for boxing fans and all these fighters. They're making life-changing money. They just weren't seeing that with the current promoters. He came in and he just upped the game. I heard. We're all hearing on the internet that Alexander Usyk made $130 million fighting Daniel Dubois. You being behind the scenes, I've heard it's bullshit, but I'm reading it in black and white on respective sites. Did he make that much money?
132.
I'd be remiss if I said yes or no because I wasn't involved with the promotion. If that's what he made, good for him. If he made half of that, good for him. He made twice that good for him, you know? So, but exactly how much, I haven't a clue.
Okay, well, there's a lot of pocket watchers here on YouTube, and there's a lot of debate between that, but it just seems like it's that's hitting the lotto. That's just crazy money. No, I mean we watched Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fight for chump change compared to what they're paying to see a fight like Danny Dubois and Alexander Usyk and Dubois. He made $70 million supposedly. I mean, it's great for the sport, but I hope it doesn't stop. The other fighters are going to expect the same thing. They're not going to want to fight unless they see these huge paychecks. No?
Well, yeah, that is a possibility where you'll have fighters or managers or promoters saying, "Hey, this guy got 70, this guy got 100. My fighter wants, the same or close to it." Well, wanting isn't getting. If Turkey isn't paying that for this particular fight or this particular fighter or these particular fighters, what are they going to do? Not fight? I mean, if you're getting, just say, between the two fighters, 50 million, and you were hoping to get 100 million, 50 apiece, and you're being offered 25 apiece. What are you going to do? Nobody else is going to offer you 50 million, 25 million, so you might as well take it.
Well, seems like some of these guys would rather cut off their nose just to spite their face and sit out for a year, which only hurts the sport.
It only hurts them.
It hurts them,
so,
yes. But
so I've never been in the business of counting other people's money and what have you. So if these fighters or managers or promoters feel that what they're getting is not commensurate to what they bring to a bout or a card, they can do what they want. Just understand that it's still more than you were making a year or two ago.
Definitely. And let me shout out a few more heads that stopped in here. Art Garfunkel, shout out to you, my brother. I see my man L Dub in here, De Niro Sparta. Thanks for coming in, man. I'm in here with Jim Catfish Hunter. He worked with everybody in the business. I mean, this is a cat that lived the life I used to read about in the magazines, and I'm having a great conversation with him over here. World Combat Sports, salute my brother, salute, man. Oh man, let's go back to some of the crazy fights and the way boxing has changed. Now, Don, are you still close with Don King, Jim?
Yeah, I know. I talked to Don.
Did Don go in the hospital?
Not that he used to be, but hey,
Well,
always a happy birthday season's greetings. Opening up again this year, real quick.
I heard he was in the hospital just recently, like yesterday or today.
I have not been able to ascertain that. I don't know.
Okay, now I got a call from my man Leon Mohammed. You must know Leon.
Yeah, I know Leon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I speak with Leon kind of. I speak with him on the regular. He called me this morning and told me that Don was in the hospital, and he was out. He was calling his wife and his son and everybody else. But just between a couple of us OGs, just making small talk over here, my man.
No, I have not been. I'm for someone that Leon says he's in, I'm sure he's in. I wonder what it's for. What's his problem? Are they treating something, or is it preventative maintenance? Hard to say. I don't know.
I'm sure I'll find out. But 92 years old, I believe. Is that what he is? 92 now?
He'll be 94. He'll be 94 next couple weeks.
94 later this month.
93, yeah. I mean, these years, they go by so fast. I mean, I can't believe the 5 years ago Crawford and Spence were fighting. It just seems like the times just go by so fast now.
That wasn't 5 years ago, it was 2 years ago, right? Crawford and Spence? Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. Whoa.
What are we doing on here? A car alarm?
Attention, please.
The show is on. Local fire
Fire
alarm.
in your apartment. Exit and close the unlocked door behind you.
Oh, shit.
Use the stairs to go to a safe location. If the fire is not in your apartment, stay where you are and wait for additional instructions.
Well, that's a new way to end an interview.
I've bothered your listeners for 31 minutes, so I don't want to
If the fire is in your apartment,
get me out
exit
of
and close the unlocked door behind you.
get them to anymore.
No, bro, it was cool talking to you, man. You know, I don't know what's going on, but it sounds kind of serious
Stay
over
where you
there.
are and wait for additional instructions.
Well, yeah. What? Well, listen, Jim. I'm gonna let you go and take care of the important stuff, okay, brother?
This is important. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
It was my pleasure, man. Peace. All right, man. That was Jim Catfish Hunter, and this once again, like I said, this was a crazy show that we just put together. Miles took off. Miles asked me to put a show on. He was going to bring on Chad Rucker. Chad Rucker is the promoter, and Miles is involved in the promotion of Ike Iabuchi and who's Ike Iabuchi fighting? Let me bring it up here. Ike Iabuchi, August 23rd. This fight is happening in Africa. Danny Williams was the last guy. Well, he was one of the last guys. He was the second to the last guy to knock out Mike Tyson. And I still don't know why this fight's happening. You know, Ike Iabuchi is 50 years old. He hasn't fought in 26 years. So this is just a crazy fight that's happening. And my whole purpose of doing this show tonight was to bring on Miles and the other promoters for this fight. And I don't know what's going on, but I guess we're gonna have to redo it. But we had a nice conversation with Jim Catfish Hunter, an associate of Don King for many years, a guy who's been behind the scenes, man. Like he told me he was in the second row at George Foreman and Ron Lyle. So if that's not being on the ground floor, man, of World War III, I don't know what is. But we had some great stories, great conversations. I guess Miles is gonna call me, but anyway, man, thanks for anybody that stopped in here. And sorry it didn't go as planned, but you know YouTube. We'll be back. See ya.